Hi BG Soulmates, I'm Grace, the designer of BG Dressmaking Patterns, and on this channel I show a lot of sew along videos to go along with my PDF sewing patterns which I sell on my website, and also share my love for sewing through my sewing vlogs while on the journey to making almost all my outfits me made. So if that is something that interests you, then this channel is for you. Today we are doing something slightly different. I don't think I've done this on this channel before, and that is showing you everything I made in a certain season. So for now, it is everything I made in this summer for 2024. So I feel like to make this easier for me, because I don't have like a clothing rack, so I can't hang everything, I'm going to categorize them and place them on the table. And after I'm done with each category, I take them and put the next category on the table, which makes things just easier for me, to be honest. So we're going to go with this type of category. So we're going to go with dresses, then tops, then bottoms, then others. So others could include sets as well as like my jumpsuits or romper or things like that, or accessories if I do have any. So I feel like doing it that way is going to make it way more organized for you and as well for me. And another thing to also notice that some of the outfits I'm going to be showing you today come with patterns and or sew along videos to make things easy, just in case you want to go watch how that certain outfit was made, or you want to purchase the pattern. So now that that is out of the way, let us start with category number 1. Okay, so for category number 1, which is dresses, let us start off with, I would say, my must-worn dress for the summer, which is my Grace Milkmaid dress. So I released this pattern, I feel like it's been almost a month or less than a month, within a month I believe. I released this pattern. So this was kind of like a derivative from my Grace Milkmaid top, but there are just a few things that are slightly different from this to that. One of them obviously is the sleeves, because the Grace Milkmaid top has like a big statement puff sleeve, but this one has like this cottage core vibe to it. So it has like the Milkmaid ruching here, straps to adjust the tightness at the top of the bust area there, the sleeves, and it's actually a maxi length with like a center slit here and a zip at the back. I love this so much that I ended up making 2. I made this first using this fabric right here, and to be honest, I really didn't like the fabric when I saw it, so I figured that it would be best to use this to make a prototype, just in case it didn't turn out well, because I was not ready to cut into my main fabric just yet. And after I made this, I absolutely started loving the print and the fabric, because it was so flowy, so beautiful, and plus it's black is something I wear all the time, right? So after turning it from a fabric to outfits, the fabric started looking so attractive to me, and I absolutely love it. Like, I've worn it so many times, and nowadays I usually wear it with like a jacket, which is something I didn't really think of when I was making this, but wearing it like a cropped jacket is actually very nice as well. And of course, I made this one in this really beautiful color, and this is not a color I usually gravitate towards, but when I saw the fabric, I was like, I had to have this color. I had to have this fabric, because I love the prints, because I realized that recently I've been into like floral prints. I have a lot in my stash right now, just haven't made them yet, but I do have a lot of floral prints. But when I saw this fabric, I knew for sure that it was going to be the perfect mate for my Grace dress. So if you want to watch the video on how I made this, the link is always in the description box, as well as the link to the pattern if you're interested in getting it. So for the next dress, it is this one right here. This isn't a summer friendly dress, if I'm being honest. It's more of like an autumn winter dress. So this is an upcoming pattern of mine, but I don't have a name for it here. I just call it the mock neck top, because it has a built-in mock neck. As you can see, it has exposed seam, which gives like a very beautiful detail to the dress. Long sleeve, and it is a midi length. I absolutely love it. so much. I made this using a rib knit fabric, so, and it's a little bit on the thick side, so I personally don't feel like this is something I want to wear in a hot season. This is actually a prototype, and the prototype turned out really nice. I think it was just one little adjustment I needed to make, and which was at the hip area, and after doing that adjustment, everything turned out very nice. And yeah, this is the mock neck dress, and I'm not entirely sure when this pattern is going to be released, but I'm really hoping it's going to be released this year. Let's see how that goes. So the last one for the dress category is this really beautiful dress called the Julia dress. So this is an off-shoulder dress which you could also wear on your shoulder. So I feel I discovered that after I made it, because the intention for making this dress was to have it as an off-shoulder dress, but after I made it and I wore it, I realized that you could also wear it like on your shoulder, and I was like, oh, okay, that's really nice. So the Julia dress is intended to be an off-shoulder dress, but like I said, you could wear it as a shoulder dress. It comes with pockets on the side. This is a very free dress, and I mean that in two ways. It's a free dress in the sense that it's a free pattern. So if you want the free pattern, the link is in the description box. And it's also a free dress because it doesn't hug the body, so it's perfect for the flowy season, and it's also a beautiful maternity dress if you do ask me. So I've worn this so much that I made one in a previous fabric, in a fabric before, right? I wore it so much that the fabric, the elastic band on the side here started to weaken, and the fabric was just getting old. So I was like, you know what, I needed to make a new one. So that's why I ended up making this one. The tutorial for this is already on the way, and I'm not entirely sure when it's going to be up, but I'm currently working on editing the tutorial for this dress. So watch out for that. And if you want to get the pattern, the link is in the description box, and it is totally free. Okay, so that is it for the dress category. So now let us move on to the top category. Okay, so for the top category, let us start with the one I have on right here, and this is my Cynthia top, and I made this in a denim. And if you want to see the video of me making this, I made a vlog showing you me making like 4 outfits in a week. So I believe the video should be up before this one. So if you're interested, the link for the video is going to be in the description box, or you could check it up here. So this is the Cynthia top, and let me tell you one thing. I've been meaning to make a top in a denim for the longest time, and I figured that, you know, the Cynthia top was going to be the perfect one to do that, because not only is it like easy and straightforward, it's just a very nice statement to have in your wardrobe. When I made this, I wanted something very lightweight, because obviously this is going to be made for summer season, right? So I wanted to use a lightweight fabric, so I used this lightweight denim. So it isn't so lightweight that it's like a bit flimsy, but it's also not so thick. So I guess I might say maybe like light medium width. So, and one thing I also wanted to do was to, you know, do the top stitching, so which was what I ended up doing. So I made top stitch here, top stitch around the keyhole detail, the sides in the back. I mean, obviously, regardless of whether you're using a denim or not, you have to top stitch the collar, but the others were totally optional, and I really do like how it turned out. I've worn this not so much, surprisingly, but it is something I really do love. So the next one on the list is this top right here. So this is my Jane top. It's a milkmaid top, and I also have a video for this top right here. I'll have a tutorial for this because it's one of my patterns, and I made this one recently, like obviously it's summer season. I made this year, and I have like a vlog showing you where I made this as well, so I'll leave that in the description as well. So I absolutely love it. I've worn this like 3 times already, and obviously I've always switched each side. So one time I wore like this, the next time I wore it like this, the other time I wore like this. And I also really do love the straps on the side, so you could make it tight, you could make it loose depending on how you feel. And it's just a very nice top to have. And worn this with like mini skirts, and I've worn it with like jeans. So now the next one on my list is this top right here. So this is my Amelia top. So this top is something I wore a lot at the beginning of summer, because that was actually when I made the top, and I was just obsessed and obsessing over it rather. And yeah, this Amelia top comes with like a center front zip. It comes with like lace detailing at the back to adjust the tightness of this, because this is not entirely loose, but it's also not totally fitting as well. So this makes it extremely tight or loose depending on what you're going for. And it has like this really short sleeve right here, and princess seam detailing both in front and the back, as well as the bias tape for like a beautiful detail as well. I made this using a chiffon fabric, so and because it's like, even though it's like see-through, it really doesn't matter because it's black, and whenever I'm wearing like my bra, I usually wear a black bra, so it doesn't really show as much, and that is totally fine by me. So it's a very, very breezy and breathable fabric. And of course, after I was done with it, I made another one in this fabric right here. So this is a bed sheet that I turned into this. Then for the bias, I used like this African print Ankara fabric. I cut it on the bias and used it here and here because I wanted to make a set out of it, right? So, but it was not intended to be a set. It's just something that happened after I made the skirt. But yeah, this also has the beautiful detailing at the back. So one thing I love about the Amelia top is that you could decide to skip the lace at the back, you could decide to skip the bias tape detailing as well. However, I do feel like those things are actually the two main features of the Amelia top, but you can still do away with them. Now the next one is the milkmaid cropped top. So I mean, I haven't worn this since I actually did make it, not because I don't like it, but just because I really haven't had the opportunity to wear it. But I was trying to like update my grace top crop top, which I'm still currently trying to do, but I just haven't gotten around to completing it because I have a lot of things to do. But in the process of doing that, I decided to sew a new tutorial for it, which I'm still also working on editing. So this top right here, I absolutely love it, and I also made it of the same fabric I used in making this Amelia top, so which is the bed sheet, which came out very, very nice. So the next one is this mock neck top. So remember the mock neck dress? Well, I did make it in different variations because this was actually intended to be a top, a long sleeve top like the dress with the built-in mock neck detailing, and like a regular top size, not a cropped top. But after I made it in the top version that I liked, I decided to make a dress version for it as well, then also this cropped version as well, to see how I would like them in all styles, and I absolutely loved it. And this one is in a short sleeve, as you can see, and I think this is also one of the things I made in one of my sewing vlogs. I'm not entirely sure, but I think so. But yeah, I'm still currently working on the pattern. So once the pattern is up, the tutorials will hopefully be up at almost the same time. But yeah, and I've tried it already. However, this is a really slightly thick, so it's not something I will want to wear when it's extremely hot, even though it's short sleeve. So it's something I'll probably wear when the weather is a bit breezy or cool. And I also wanted to make it white because I really do not have a lot of white fabrics, and this is something I'm trying to change. So currently I only have like 3 white tops, if I calculate that properly. But yeah, like white is just not something I gravitate towards, so that is why it's not something I have a lot in my wardrobe. I have mostly black and toned down colors in my wardrobe than white. But I absolutely love this, and yeah, I see myself wearing this a lot. I've only worn this like twice, so but I do see myself wearing this a lot. So still on the mock neck, let us talk about this. So this was the intended version of the mock neck. No, actually, the intended version of the mock neck is this right here. I'm going to insert a picture. So that's what I made. The first prototype I made, I think it was like 2 years ago or 1 year ago. I'm not entirely sure. And it was intended to look like this, like without the exposed seam. But I don't know why. I just figured that, you know what, let me change that to an exposed seam detailing this year. And I made this first. And when I made this, I realized that I needed to do a few adjustments to it before, you know, actually feeling like, okay, this was good enough to be a pattern for you. And one of the things I did was to take it in a bit because it was a bit too loose around the bust area, and yeah, as well as the sleeve here, the armhole here. So those are the only two things I really needed to do. But other than that, every other thing was perfectly okay. And I think it's because the stretch percentage for this and the stretch percentage for the first fabric I used were different, because the first fabric I used didn't have the amount of excess fabric on the side when I made it. But yeah, after I was done making the adjustments to it, I decided to make another one. So in the process of making this one, I didn't have enough fabric to make the sleeve. So what did I do? I figured out, okay, you know what, let me just attach a few pieces together and sew them up and try to make a sleeve from there. Which gave birth to this design I really didn't intend to make. So which is like this patchwork design here. Even though it was made using the same color, it came out very, very nice. And I was like, oh, okay, you could actually make like patchwork with this, like with different colors. Obviously, if you still want to make it with the same color, it's still totally fine. That is still its beauty on its own. So yeah, and this came out very beautiful. So I used the same fabric I used to make this. It's a stretchy fabric, so it has about 60% stretch. So this pattern is going to call for a 60% stretch. The pattern is still not yet available, and I'm hoping it's going to be during, like I already said when I talked about the dress, hopefully autumn winter season, because yeah. But this right here is very, very breathable, so I do wear this during summer. I could also wear it during the autumn season, but I'm just going to have to layer it. But that's the good thing about this pattern. It's an all year round style, because depending on the fabric you use to make it, you could wear it during the summer, you could wear it during the winter. Because the first prototype I made it using a mesh transparent fabric, which is obviously like summer friendly, so I do wear that a lot during the summer. So for the next one is this right here, and I made a vlog about this. And this is like what, 1 2 3 4 5, so I made 5 of them the same day. So this is the tank top I am currently working on as well. I mean, I feel like at this point I'm working on a lot of patterns at the same time. But yeah, I'm currently working on this tank top as well. Let me bring one out to just show you what it looks like. So I made in like my staple color, which is obviously black. And I actually do have 2 blacks, this and another one somewhere. Yeah, I made one in white. I made one in this gray color, which I have worn so many times. Like when I tell you that I've worn every single one of these tops, like I've at least once a week I pick one of them to wear, you know. And I don't think there's anyone that I haven't worn so far. I've worn every single one of them. That's how much I love it. I'm so happy I made like 5, or technically I have 6 of them. The other black one I wear it most at home. Then these ones I wear them when I'm going out, or sometimes maybe when I'm filming a video. Then I also made this one in this really interesting patchwork style. So the front looks like this and the back looks like this. So I made the front like this because obviously I'm going to be wearing like a bra here, so I didn't want the bra showing. So I decided to make the top part of the front this color, while the back could be this color. It really doesn't matter what the color of the shoes at the back. Then I made this one right here. And I don't know why this one is giving me, I could also wear this in autumn if I layer it on top of like an oversized shirt or something like that. And yeah, I don't know, it's just giving me a style in my head that yeah, I can't really explain right now. And the last but not least for the top is this one right here that I have worn. I've worn so many times that I can't even count, and it's a pattern I started working on like I think about a year ago. And it was intended, or it is intended to be long sleeve. Then I was like, you know what, let me make like a short sleeve version to see what it's going to look like as well. So I made the short sleeve version. I think I actually do love the short sleeve version more than I do the long sleeves. Now I don't know if I should make it just a short sleeve oversized, or I should keep the long sleeve as well. If I can, I'm going to insert a video of what the long sleeve version looks like, and I'm a bit conflicted as to whether to just leave this as short sleeve or also add the long sleeve version to it. So let me know in the comment section what you think about that. Yeah, I really do love the long sleeve because it gives this really oversized boyfriend shirt look. But I also love this because this is much more practical in my wardrobe, because this is what I gravitate towards more than I do the long sleeve. So yeah, I have one green long sleeve that I usually wear, but I wear it mostly at home. I mean, it's just a very comfy look. And there's the other one which I don't really wear as much because it's white. I don't know what my phobia is with white, but yeah. But regardless, I still really love this. So these have been wearing so much, and I decided to skip the buttons for this because I mean I don't even button it anyways. And secondly, I was running away from creating buttonholes. Oh, I don't know, I think I've said this before in one of my videos. I always run away from buttonholes if I can, but if I can't, then yeah, I just do it the way I should. But I figured that I wouldn't need the buttonholes for this because I wouldn't be buttoning it up anyway. So yeah, that's it for the top category. So now let us move on to the bottom category. Okay, so now for the bottom category, I didn't realize, but it seems like it might be a lot wrong, but maybe not. So the first one for that is this trouser right here. So this is my Diana wide leg trousers, and I already have a pattern for this on my website, and a video for this on this channel right here. So this I made because I absolutely love the fabric. So this is like a very this is a cotton fabric, but I don't really know what blend, but because I got it in like a clearance, most of the fabrics I try to get here, I get them like clearance, so, or like when I say dead stock. So I basically don't get to choose the type of fabrics or the type of colors I want. So but you just tend to choose like the tone or the shades of the color. For example, if you want like dark fabrics, you tell them dark. If you want like bright fabrics, you tell them bright. So I always go for dark, but I always know that black would also be included in them. So this one was also one of it, and I decided to use this Ankara fabric for the pockets as well as the waistband facing, which turned out to be very nice. Something I absolutely love because it's very breezy and easy to wear, and the zip is actually at the back rather than in front, and it has like pleats and this full button up here, because it makes it look like you can, you know, open and close in front, but you really can't. I mean, it's just for decoration, but you could also skip that part too. So yeah, this is something I've been wearing a lot, and but in summer and actually in autumn, because I have one I wore a lot during the cold season before I made this, right? So, and I know for a fact that I'm still going to wear this a lot in the cold season. Just going to wear something thick, like thick leggings underneath it. So still on the trousers category, we're going to talk about this. So I feel like the tasking part for me, or the one that was mentally draining for me, was sewing up the zipper fly. And to be honest, I don't know why I've always thought that thing was so scary, because it really isn't. Like, that was the only part that stopped me from making trousers with front zip, and that's the reason why I actually did make my Diana pattern, because I was running away from making zips in the front, and it's just easier to make the zip at the back. It's almost like making a zip for a dress at the back, but I was like, you know what, I'm going to challenge myself this year, and I started off with this one first. So this was actually my prototype, and it's also like an upcoming pattern, which I wouldn't lie, I'm not entirely sure when this is going to come up. Maybe next year, even being honest, because I mean, the jeans, they have a lot of pieces, and I have to figure out, like, yeah. So this was the first prototype, and in as much as it wasn't bad, because I wear it out a lot, like a lot. I mean, the first time I actually did make it, I was a bit uncomfortable wearing it because the crotch area was a bit too tight. So it was just uncomfortable. It felt like I was giving myself a wedgie. But after a while, it just kind of adjusted to my body, and it fits really nice right now. There were a few issues with this, and one of them was, like, you see this right here, every time I hold it up, you can see like the line and showing here. You can see it showing here because somehow I ended up stitching the pocket piece to the zipper fly here. But for this one, since it was not stitched to anything, the lining kept showing out, which I really didn't like, because the lining, why am I saying lining, the pockets, the pocket fabric is quite bright. It's a white color, so it stands out, right? And that was one thing I really didn't like. So I said I was going to fix that. And another thing was that I also mentioned was the crotch area. So it was too high, so it was way too tight and uncomfortable. So that was also another thing I wanted to fix. And another thing I decided to change a little bit was also the width of the hem, like the wideness of the trouser. I made it a little bit not so narrow, but I took in about 2 inches, and those are the only things I really needed to change about this. And yeah, it was really nice. I also wanted to like do like add the rivets here and there, but baby steps, baby steps. So, and I really do love how this turned out, aside from the few adjustments I needed to make, because it was still a very wearable mock-up. So that's good. I tried to like make my mock-ups in like fabrics that I know that I could wear eventually, rather than just making them and tossing them out, because I mean it takes a lot of time to sew, right? So if I'm going to do it, I might as well do it in a fabric I know that I could possibly wear. Yeah, that is it. And after I was done with this, fast forward to like a month or so later, I decided to make the actual one, which I actually did make, or I actually completed like a couple of days ago. So now, what did I do differently with this one? Like I said, I already made the adjustments I needed to make. So you can see for this one, even if I stretch it from now to that kingdom come, you wouldn't see the pocket, especially when I wear it too. Like, I mean, I don't see why I have to be stretching like this, but especially when I wear it, I don't see the pocket coming out. So which is a good thing. I also adjusted the crotch problem too, so it's not so tight here. Then for this one, I changed the width of the waistband. So for that one, I made the width about a half and 1.5 inch, but this one is about 2 inches, which I also like, and I think it also accounted for the height, so it also made the crotch not so tight too. Then what else did I do? So for this one, I also added a label like handmade with love. Then I also put this at the back, which was very nice. For the pocket piece, I decided to use this really cute fabric. So like I said, I got like, I usually get like fabrics in like clearance, so sometimes I think also like dead stock fabrics, if I'm correct. So they usually come in, sometimes depending on what you buy, it could come in like less than 1 yard, it could come in 1 yard, 2 yards, thereabouts. So this one wasn't a lot of fabric, so I didn't know what I could possibly use it to do. So I figured I might as well use it to make the pockets for this trouser, which turned out to be very nice. And if I did have a lot, I would have probably made like bias tape for, you know, the zipper fly and everything, just to make the inside look very beautiful. But I didn't have enough, so I just made do what I had, which was still okay. So now for the next one on my list is this midi skirt right here with like side slits. So I already made, so this was the first one I made, and like I said, I usually like to make my outfits, my mock-ups, in like wearable fabrics, but also fabrics I know that if anything wrong goes, if something goes wrong, I would not be too mad about it. But if I'm being honest, I would have been very mad about it if something did go wrong with this. So that is why I made it first in like this print, which I'm going to show you in like the next category. I made it in like that print, which I was not really a fan of, because I felt like it was too in your face. So after I was done with it there, and I liked how it looked and everything, I made it in this fabric because I actually do love this fabric. This is a very light weight fabric. I'm not entirely sure. I think it's like a crepe, but it's very lightweight, and it's very fluid, it's very breezy. So this skirt actually has to be made in something that is very breezy, because if you make it with something that has some structure to it, I feel like it's not going to be so fluid. And this pattern is also not available right now. It's still a work in progress. I feel like a lot of my patterns are still a work in progress, you know. So but yeah, this is the skirt, and let me tell you, I love this so much. I mean, it's see-through, but that is really not the problem, because I mean, it doesn't matter what type of skirt I wear, I always try to wear shorts underneath it, so that is totally fine even though it's see-through. And This is so beautiful. Like, I love the length. I've been wearing it a lot as well with like the mock neck top I told you about in the top category, and it's been such an amazing thing. I also wore it with like the tank top as well. I think I wore it like with the black tank top too, and that was also very beautiful combo. So like, I'm actually getting to the stage where almost all my outfits are made. So when I was actually preparing for this video, right, I had to bring out all the clothes that I was going to talk about for the summer period, and I realized that most of the outfits that were hanging on in my wardrobe were the outfits I made in summer. So it made me realize that I actually sew a lot this summer, which is surprising because I also did have a lot to do this summer. So I don't know how that happened, but yeah, it did happen. So now the next one on the list is this skirt right here. It's the bias skirt. It's the Anita bias skirt, and I have a tutorial for this as well as a sewing pattern on my channel. However, I did make a tutorial for this one exactly. The tutorial I have on the channel is the sew along when I made the pattern. But I also made a video of me making this, so I just haven't edited and uploaded the video yet. I really wanted something in this green because I realized that recently I've been gravitating towards green fabrics. So I don't know why, but it's somehow, I don't know, with my head, the back of my mind, I think they look good on me. So yeah, I did make this. I really wanted something that I could wear for summer as well as for winter. So this is a very nice stable I've been wearing a lot during the summer season, and I know it's also going to be a very nice thing to wear during the autumn, winter. You know, we like the whole vibe that comes with it. So to talk about the shorts right here. So I actually did make the shorts recently when I made that sewing in a day. No, a week of sewing. And the only thing I would say is that this, I don't know, because I cut this fabric out, because I did say it in the video that I cut out this fabrics like a while ago, and this was one of them. I think I cut this was one of the first ones I cut out. And after I sewed it up, I realized that it was a bit too tight for me, a tad bit tight. So it's not something I'm going to want to wear often. Shorts with pleats in front and side pockets, as well as a darts at the back, and comes to like center back zip. You know, like I already told you, like when it comes to zips at the back of skirts, trousers, dresses, I'm game. Like you will find me there. But now the front, I'm still trying to get over that fear, but I think I've actually gotten over it. So the next one is this. So I'm showing you three because they are the same right here. So this is the Mila skirt. So the pattern is already up on my website. However, the sew along video isn't out yet, I believe. So I'm still currently working on that. So this is the one I have been wearing so much, and I think you could tell from the way it looks. Like this is the one I've worn so much because black. And it's such a very breezy listen. It's also the same fabric I used to make the Diana trousers I showed you previously. So it's such a very breezy and comfortable fabric. I'm not entirely sure why, and it's so breathable. You know, it's so breathable. The only thing I would say is that it wrinkles or crinkles easily, but I really don't mind. And with the Mila skirts, I made this black one with one sleeve. This one right here, I made this one with no sleeves at all, and it still turned out very beautiful. I made this one with one sleeve as well. I also have one that I made with two sleeves, but that's something I made last year in winter season, so that's why it's not here. So in total, I actually have 5 pieces of the Mila skirt because I made 2 during the winter season and 3 during the summer season. Now, last but not the least is this one right here. So for this one right here, I made this using the Mia's half circle skirt, and one thing I did differently was to add side pockets because the Mia skirt doesn't come with side pockets, so I did add that. And the reason why it's the last is because I haven't worn it yet, and why, when I made this, or when I cut out the fabric for these, I was a size smaller, and when I finally made it, I was now a size bigger. So the rest of it is okay, the waist not so much. So now what I do is when I want to wear the skirt, because I'm not about to go to start adding and taking out the waistband and all that. So what I do is that when I want to wear the skirt, I just fold the waistband inside like so. So the skirt is not fully, the waistband is not fully zipped up, right? It's actually very fine because I mean it's something I would wear. I would wear it up over it and have the hem like cover the waistband. So I really don't care much about it, but I absolutely love the skirt because I tell you, this is something I feel like I'm going to wear a lot during like autumn and winter as well. But I haven't worn it yet, like I said, because of the issue here. That is it for the bottom category. So now let us move on to others. Okay, so now for others, the reason why I categorize this as others, even though they are still clothes, is because most of them are actually sets, right? And I think it's just one that isn't a dress or a skirt or a top. And can you guess what that is? A jumpsuit. So starting off with the jumpsuit, it is this Laura jumpsuit, and I made this in a sleeveless version, right? And I made this using like this bed sheet. And yo, when I tell you that this thing was a bit too snug around my waist, I really do mean it. And one thing I love about the Laura jumpsuit is that it gives this illusion of like a snatched waist and like a full hip, you know, which is what I was intending for anyways, because it's like a maxi length, a maxi jumpsuit, and it could also pass for a skirt if you're just standing in one place without walking around. And speaking of skirts, when I was making like the first prototype, I believe, I almost ended up turning it into a skirt because after I made the top part and I joined the bottom to it, I had not sewn the inseam yet, but I decided to try it on to see how it looked, and it looked like a maxi skirt, and it was so beautiful. So I think I'm actually going to hack it and see what it looks like in a real maxi skirt one of these days. Not sure when. Let me know if it's something you probably want to see sometime soon. This, I made this using the bed sheets, this black and white striped bed sheet. Like I said, the only thing I did differently was to make it sleeveless. So in order to account for that, what I just did was to use like a bias tape around the armhole instead of like serging or anything like that. And that way it just gave it a very neat finishing too. So yeah, that is it for the jumpsuit, the Laura jumpsuit, and I have the pattern as well as the tutorial for this up on this channel, so you could go check it out. So the next one is this right here. So let's start off with this. So this is a pajama set that I actually started working on like, so I actually did have this up as a pattern on my website before, but I took it down because I was not proud of it, right? So I took it down. I decided to like re-strategize with this pattern and work on it more. And now that I'm actually completely comfortable with the way it looks, I'm ready to, you know, digitize it again and work on grading and doing everything and make it up available. I feel like it's not going to be possible this year anymore because I mean summer is already coming to an end, and this is kind of like a summer project, so I think it's something I'll probably like release maybe next year. But I've been wearing this so much. So the PJ set is something that has like a tie at the back. So it has a tie at the back, it has the scoop neckline, has straps. So this is what it looks like at the back, and it's a cropped version. Then it has the shorts with like ruffles at the hem of it, which is very beautiful. I also made two other tops from it without the shorts yet, because this was when I was trying to like work on the prototype, but I had no issues with the shorts. What my issue was with the top of the pattern, right? So I made a lot of versions of it. The pink, this color, I'm not entirely sure what color this is, but I made this color, and when I was totally okay with how everything looked, I then made the final version using this bed sheets, right? So this is the final version of it, and it came out very beautiful. And this is the shorts. Like I said, I had no issues at all with the shorts. So the shorts had been fine from the onset. It's just the top that I was not comfortable with, and I just had to find it. Like I said, when I made this was one of the early my early stages of my sewing pattern business. So my sewing then is definitely not as good as my sewing then was definitely not as good as it is right now. So there are a lot of techniques that I felt like I could have incorporated into this pattern that I didn't, to make it look seamless and neat. So now that I've done that with this pattern, I feel like I'm confident enough to post it up. So yeah, this is one thing I've made, and I've been wearing it a lot at home. So now for the next one, it is this two-piece set right here. And I'm saying two-piece because however, this is the skirt I told you that I made as a prototype when I was making that midi skirts with that fabric I really love. And the prototype came out very, very beautiful. Like, I had no issues actually with the prototype, none whatsoever. So after I was done making it and I was sure that everything was good, that there was nothing to correct, I went ahead to like work on the actual fabric, which was that one I showed you. So this is the skirt for it. And for the top, I still had like some fabrics left over after making the skirt, and I didn't want to have to waste it. So when I was making that my sewing vlog, which is called like a week of sewing or something along the line, this was one of the tops I made there, right? And this is such a beautiful top. So this is like a front tie cropped top. So this is what it looks like. There is no sleeves attached to it, however it looks like it does have a sleeve, and when you wear it, it does look like it has like a butterfly sleeve, but it really isn't the case. It's just an extension from the neckline all the way to the hem, as you can see here. The last but not the least are these two right here, which are my recently released pattern, the Jasmine set. So it's a maxi tiered skirt with 4 skirt panel pieces and a slit that you could put on the side or in front, but you could also go without the slits if that is what you want. Then it also comes with like the sheer crop top as well. So I made the first one using this black fabric, and when I was okay with how everything looked, I made this one as well. So another thing I love about this skirt is that it has exposed ruching here on the skirt all around, and it has like this top stitch in front, like on the waistband as well. Like, this is a very, very simple make. Like, if you're an absolute beginner, you could definitely make this. I already have the pattern as well as the tutorials or so along videos up on my channel, so you could check that out. Okay, so we finally come to the end of this everything I made in summer 2024 video, and it actually doesn't look like a lot, but it is a lot. I don't even know how many. I might count after making this, I'm not sure. Yeah, but yeah, let me know what you think about this series. I'm thinking of making this series like regularly on this channel, like everything I made in summer, autumn, winter, spring, whatever the case may be. Even if it's like one outfit, I hope I don't make just one outfit in a season. But yeah, let me know what you think about this video, and thank you so much for watching. And don't forget that one of the ways you could support me and support my growing business is by purchasing one of my patterns in the description box. You could also sign up to my newsletter so you get new information about upcoming patterns, updates, discounts, free patterns, because I do send out free patterns on to my newsletter subscribers once in a while. So if you're interested in getting my free patterns, do click the link in the description box as well. And you could also support me by giving this video a thumbs up, letting YouTube know you like the video, or subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next upload, because I do upload every week now. Girl is on the consistency journey right now, so for now I can only afford to upload once a week. But with time, hopefully when I'm able to make this like a full-time career, I could, you know, up that to like twice a week. Don't hold me to that, but yeah. So thank you so much for watching, and once again I can't wait to see you guys on my next video. Bye.